Hello, good morning. This is Siva Devaki from MassMailer. Today, I would like to talk about the Salesforce email marketing options when it comes to comparing MassMailer versus Mailchimp. I'm sure many of you are aware of Mailchimp email marketing solution. It's a standalone email marketing solution, but it does have an integration with Salesforce through App Exchange. You have to install an app, and then you can integrate with Salesforce. We have had several customers, um, you know, who have migrated from Mailchimp, and I kind of talked to them about their experience, uh, why they've migrated over to MassMailer, and then come up with a comprehensive list of pitfalls when it comes to Salesforce integration. I'm sure Mailchimp is a great email marketing alternative out there. Nothing wrong about that solution. A great solution for sure. But when it comes to Salesforce integration, it does lack the main ingredients of any app level integration, a seamless integration. So I thought maybe I should talk about that. And again, to expert out of this, it's a sincere evaluation of both MassMailer and Mailchimp features. And some of the list of features that we have, I mean, rather, some of the features that we have listed in this are basically more important for Salesforce customers than others. So you would see terms related to Salesforce. So basically, this webinar is certainly for Salesforce CRM customers who are trying to compare, alternatives out there when it comes to email marketing. Okay. And obviously, it's going to be an educative session so that you can actually understand both solutions and how do they integrate with Salesforce and what do they have to offer and make a decision. Well, it's a non-biased comparison, even though Mailchimp is a competitor. We are trying to compare mainly the Salesforce integration aspects and certainly some of the features both the products have. Again, take this as a feedback that is given by a competitor, but at the same time, we would like to be very honest in what we are talking about here. So I wanted to start off with the Salesforce integration comparison. I know it seems like, hey, I'm jumping the gun, but assuming that whoever the audience is familiar with Salesforce CRM, and they are trying to find a solution that actually works well with Salesforce CRM, whether it is a native app or a third-party app, meaning which is non-native app, right? And most of the times, you want to make sure that once you get onboarded with that solution, you want to forget about the data integration. If you have to deal with that every single day, then it's a nightmare because that kind of trickles down reporting and everything else. Okay. So MassMailer is a native app to Salesforce, so there's nothing that you really have to worry about data integration because your data resides in Salesforce, and MassMailer, even though we use SendGrid as an email platform behind the scenes, we take care of all the integration for you, so you don't have to worry about the email events and campaign statistics, performance, whether it is unsubscribed data, bounce related data, or any other aspect of email marketing. Everything is within Salesforce itself, so you don't have to really worry about data integration as such. Versus Mailchimp is not a native app, meaning Mailchimp is it's on its own platform, a third-party solution when you're comparing with Salesforce CRM I'm talking about. So you would have to subscribe to Mailchimp, obviously on their own platform, but you can integrate that with an app called Mailchimp for Salesforce. That's an App Exchange app. You will have to install, configure, and then you got to do some sort of settings and setup to integrate Mailchimp with Salesforce. Again, the feedback that I given here is, openly available, or the feedback that I received from various customers that I have spoken to so far, and a little bit of analysis what we have done as well. Okay. So first and foremost, the feedback that I received is integration is clunky. So integration sort of works and doesn't work. That's the main issue most of the customers have. Sometimes they have to import and export data manually. That's really not any customer would want to do on a daily basis. Biggest limitation again is it only supports leads and contacts. So if you are trying to send emails to any other objects, opportunities, or custom object cases, or campaign, then a big no-no here. So that's a blocker for most of the customers. And there's no real-time sync. So the synchronization, what they have is it's basically you got to time it. You got to wait for next day to again sync the data. So it's not a real-time sync as such. So that's going to be the biggest blocker. Again, if at all you're trying to sync your contacts on an ongoing basis, and then try to put them in a list of audience and then try to send an email, it is going to be an issue. It's not that you want to send an email right now and you can just go boom, sync your data and then do it. That's not how it works. And synchronizing the data itself is not a straightforward thing. There's something called member queries that you will have to apply some filters and get the data and then sync with Mailchimp. So if you make any mistake there when you're actually applying those filters or writing those member queries, then you're actually syncing wrong data and you may end up sending it to the wrong audience. So which means you'll have to be very careful when you're actually syncing data, because it's not a straightforward thing. Okay. And again, when I'm talking about campaign activity and metrics, well, you do get the high-level metrics. That's not a problem, but you cannot do anything with the Salesforce campaign. So I should have written a Salesforce campaign activity, but yeah. You can still get the activities in general and the metrics in general from Mailchimp, but you can't really do any kind of Salesforce campaign syncing. That's not possible. Okay. And the unsubscribed data syncing is manual. This is what I heard from my customers, meaning you cannot really sync the unsubscribes automatically. That's not possible. The rating is not that great. Again, this is publicly available on App Exchange, Mailchimp for Salesforce. And then from what I heard, the support for the App Exchange app is quite minimal, or it's not what you would expect from an App Exchange app company. So that's another problem what I heard from other customers. And then, so the features that I'm going to talk about here, especially some of the related features, they're not native to Salesforce. That's very important to know. So mainly when you're trying to send an email, you basically have to set up things in Mailchimp, and you have to sync the data from Salesforce. So that's pretty much it. But if you needed something advanced, pretty much all you're trying to do is in Mailchimp itself. So those features are not in Salesforce. Now let's take a look at the feature-wise comparison. That way, kind of get a sense. Some I'll mention where you is this feature in Salesforce or Mailchimp. I'll mention that as well. Very important, the Salesforce object support, right? MassMailer supports standard, custom, parent object or the child object, meaning related objects. Mailchimp only supports lead, contact, that's it. Campaign object support is possible in MassMailer. Mailchimp, it's not possible. Integration with Salesforce, we just talked about it. So MassMailer is a native app, so you don't have to worry about any integration. It's already there for you. Mailchimp is not a native solution, so you'll have to do the integration with the App Exchange app. You'll have to configure, set it up, and that's how you can run Mailchimp. Email authentication, yes, you can do it in both the systems. It's not a problem. Vanity tracker, meaning linked domain. So if you want a custom linked domain, that's possible in both the systems. IP address, if you're a customer of MassMailer, you already know that we provide a dedicated IP address for very strong reasons. You are responsible for your own IP reputation. We have a warm-up feature that can help. You can also do a manual warm-up in the initial couple of weeks, and you're good to go. You follow the best practices, and you don't have to be relying on other people's reputation. So you are basically responsible for your own IP and the domain reputation. So you just have to follow best practices. Versus Mailchimp, they have a shared IP. I think it's a highly controlled shared IP address is what you get from Mailchimp. And obviously, it all depends on how the reputation is for this for that IP. I don't think that they have any dedicated IP concept or an option even to purchase. Mass emails, yes, you can do both systems. One-on-one email, MassMailer, yes, you can do. Mailchimp, there's no way you can do a one-on-one email. If you want to just send an email to a contact in Salesforce, you can do that using Mailchimp. Email validation and verification, MassMailer has that feature. Mailchimp does not have any feature like that. Attachments, yes, you can actually attach files in MassMailer. Mailchimp, you can only upload them to Mailchimp storage, and then you can share that a file as a link. Dynamic attachments, MassMailer does provide, but Mailchimp does not provide that feature. Email sending limits, we say technically it's unlimited, but you're limited to the email volume package that you purchased. So if you are purchasing 100K per month or 1 million per month, that's what you're limited to. But technically, there's no limit as well as such. Mailchimp, it depends on what plan you have purchased. They do have email sending limit. So again, it all depends on the plan that you're purchasing. Template builder, again, our template builder is native to Salesforce. It's a drag and drop. You don't need to worry about HTML. Well, we do support HTML snippet if you want to embed, but it's not an HTML editor as such. So you can copy paste HTML snippet, no problem. We also support native email templates that includes a custom HTML. It could be a visual force template. It could be a text template. We support all of them. Mailchimp, yes, they do have an email builder. They also support HTML. So if you want to edit HTML, they have a feature that you can do. Again, this is not in Salesforce. It's all in Mailchimp platform. Email merge fields. So you can merge the fields in MassMailer. You can bring in the data from the current object, parent object, or even the child object. That feature is already available right now. So you can also get the data from a related list. That's possible in MassMailer. And we support all the objects as long as those are supported in MassMailer from a current object perspective, right? That you can always get the data from the related objects, even though those are not enabled in MassMailer. It's not a problem. Mailchimp, you're quite limited to leads, contacts, accounts only. That's all what you can have as a merge field. And also you have to sync that data into Mailchimp. So if you are trying to get the data from a related object, that you cannot do that. So the data needs to be there on the lead or contact object, and then you can sync or map that data with a field in Mailchimp and then get it. So it's not a straightforward thing, and it's only limited to contacts and leads and accounts. That's it. That's a problem. Tracking metrics, you can, of course, track all the opens, clicks, bounces, spam, reply, and unsubscribes. And you can do the same thing with Mailchimp as well. You can track all the metrics. That's not a problem. And you should be able to sync that data with Salesforce. Again, email activity. So we show that as a native Salesforce activity record in MassMailer. And we use a Salesforce email message object to store this data. And you can also you can also enable the standard MassMailer email status related list, or you can actually add the lightning component. Both options available. Mailchimp, you can get the email activity. Again, as I said, it's a little clunky, but it's possible to store the activity under the leader contact from Mailchimp. Reporting, we do have the native reporting because all the data that we bring in our store is native to Salesforce itself. So reporting is quite easy. I just have to either use the packaged reports that we provide, or you can customize them, or you can build completely new. That's easy. Mailchimp, see, again, the reporting, what you're doing is in Mailchimp platform, so you won't be able to just build some standard Salesforce reports and then report on it. That's not possible, but you can still look at the data that they bring in onto the Visualforce pages that they've built in the app in Salesforce. A/B testing, you can do the A/B testing in MassMailer. We not only support just the email subject, we also support the content as well. Mailchimp, yes, you can do the A/B testing, but it's only limited to the subject. Render testing, yes, both the applications, both the solutions do have the render testing feature, meaning if you wanted to actually see how your email is going to render on various devices, whether it is iPhones or Androids or web client or web email client or desktop email client, Yahoo's and AOL and Gmail and Microsoft, all these various email clients that you may have, you can figure out how does it actually renders. And Mailchimp also has that feature called render testing or email preview or email testing. Dynamic content, it is possible now in MassMailer, getting released this week. That's already available, dynamic content. Mailchimp, no, that's not possible. And sending from a Salesforce campaign object, that's possible in MassMailer, but Mailchimp, it's not possible. When it comes to campaign engagement metrics and related list, so all this data is stored, as I mentioned, but we don't track any forms or landing page functionality. So currently, MassMailer does not provide such feature. And Mailchimp does provide forms and landing page feature, but you can't really get the engagement metrics in Salesforce. That metrics is available only in Mailchimp. You'll have to log into their platform. Drip campaigns, yes, you can actually build drip campaigns using Process Builder or Flow. In Salesforce, integrate, basically, you can send emails using MassMailer, and those drip flows that you're going to define. That's possible. Mailchimp, it's not possible in Salesforce. You have to do any drip campaigns in Mailchimp platform itself. So if you want to build some sequence, you can build it. That's possible in Mailchimp platform, but not in Salesforce as such. And why I'm stressing that is because, see, certain times drip campaigns would need some exit criteria and whatnot, and you may need to have some filter criteria to even kick off some drip campaign. That won't be possible unless and until you have flow level integration for drip campaigns. So Mailchimp does not have that capability. You can certainly do sequences, that's possible, but you got to do it in Mailchimp platform. Website tracking, currently we do not, our MassMailer does not have any website tracking, but you can rely on Google Analytics and use their standard app to integrate with Salesforce and track it that way. That's possible. Mailchimp does have tracking code that they provide. You can add it to the website, and then you can actually track the website visitors so that you can actually learn who is visiting a page, how long they're on that page, and then other aspects of that particular visitors on your website can be tracked using Mailchimp. Forms, we currently do not support. Mailchimp does support forms, landing pages. MassMailer does not support landing pages right now, but you can certainly add a link in the email. But we do have that in the roadmap, meaning landing pages would be part of MassMailer in the future. Mailchimp does have landing pages feature. Social connectors, MassMailer does not have social connectors, but Mailchimp does have social connectors. Event and webinar connectors, MassMailer MassMailer does not have any connectors, but you can certainly use any App Exchange apps. Mailchimp, I think it's the same thing. They don't have direct connectors themselves, but you can certainly use maybe other third-party plugins to connect to any webinar and event connectors. I'm sure it's available, but they don't have a native connectors available. Visitor tracking reporting, as mentioned, you can only use Google Analytics to track all the visitors and then report on them. But there's no straightaway tracking that you can get in MassMailer. Mailchimp, you do get that feature. That's possible. UI customization. So MassMailer UI is quite configurable. Because it's a native app, and we provide some UI settings that you can actually use and turn on and turn off certain things. Mailchimp, that's not possible. Quick send, MassMailer, you can actually do a quick email. That feature is available, and it's limited to one page. In fact, in the next release, which is coming out this week, as I said, we also have a feature called Simple Send, through which you can send an email, simply like go to any contact, just quickly type in an email and send it. So that can be a component of like a lightning component that you can add, and then just stay on the contact details page and send an email right there. Similar to what Salesforce email feature is. Mailchimp, that capability is not there. Inboxing, so meaning like warming up your IP and domain, we do have that feature. Mailchimp does not have that feature. And when it comes to target contacts, we don't charge you based on the contacts because your data is in Salesforce, so you can have as many contacts you wanted. There's no charge for that. Mailchimp, you obviously will have a limit based on the plan that you're purchasing, how many contacts you can upload. There's going to be a limit. Price-wise, so you get the starting price, $169 per month. The essential package, or right now we call it as a basic package. We just renamed it. One admin user, one read-only user, 10K emails per month, but you don't need to worry about number of contacts. It's unlimited contacts, so that starts at 169. Mailchimp does have a free plan, just to let you know, so you can store up to 2,000 contacts. You can send 2,000 emails maximum in a day, but 10K emails per month maximum is what you can do, and that's a free plan. That's a great one to go. And finally, just to summarize, if you're looking for a native app where you don't have to worry about data integration, and you're looking for a simple and easy to use email marketing solution, then MassMailer is the right choice. But if you are looking for a non-native app, because some customers may have a need to have a non-native app because they want it outside for some reason, or maybe they want the data to be uploaded, but they don't want that data to be in Salesforce. So various reasons why people want a non-native app. So for them, I think Mailchimp would work great if you're not too much worried about data integration, and all you're looking for Mailchimp, a third-party solution or email marketing, a third-party solution. Does not care how well the integration is with Salesforce. You can certainly go with Mailchimp. That's a great solution as such. Okay. Any questions? I'm happy to answer. All right, seems like no questions. Once again, this is a webinar that we run every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. You can get our YouTube videos, that's possible, and also we publish all these videos on our website as well. You can, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me directly, or you can also contact us the company email and the phone number. And if you're new to MassMailer, feel free to get on a free trial. We provide 15-day free trial, quite easy to configure and set it up. We can help with your trial. So, and if you are new to MassMailer, please, or if you're familiar with MassMailer, I strongly recommend that you go to YouTube and then search for MassMailer and subscribe to it. Subscribe to our channel. And also you can subscribe the notifications as well. That way you come to know whenever there's a new video available. We, again, do this every week. So you should be able to get something new always every week from MassMailer. Thank you so much once again for joining the webinar today. Stay tuned for next week again. You can find out the new topic on our website, or if you're part of our email list, it will also be emailed, or you can also look at our social channels as well. So thank you so much. Have a great day or have a great day.